Iloilo are getting ready right now, warming up as they go up against Signal HD Spikers in a few moments. There you see Nas Guaza, originally an opener, transitioned into being a middle blocker in the third year of his college days, and he has continued in this position. He has fully embraced it. He's working alongside a couple of the best spikers here in our Spiker Surf Open Conference. One of them is Jade Disquitado, who Nas Guaza mentioned he had to block Jade yesterday during their training sessions, and it is why he has some tapes right now on his hands. Ganun daw kalakas pumalo si Jade. Today he's gonna go up against another great middle blocker in JP Bugawan. We have Signal and the D Navigators coming right up as we turn you over to our venue announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our officials for this match. Our first referee is Mr. Erlindo Eusebio, National Referee. Second referee is Ms. Joy D. Imus, National Referee. Let's call on the starting lineup of our Signal HD Spikers. Team captain from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 8, opposite hitter Isay Marasigan. Middle blocker from the National University, number 4, Peter Torres. Middle blocker from the Far Eastern University, number 7, John Paul Bugawan. Outside spiker from the University of the Philippines, number 10, Wendell Miguel. Outside hitter from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 15, Mark Espejo. And starting center from the University of Perpetual Health System Delta, number 18, EJ Casania. Their starting libero from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 13, Suman Sumangkid. Coach for Signal is Mr. Dexter Clamor. Calling on the starters of the Navigators, Iloilo. Team captain wearing jersey number 4 from Iris, Manila, number 4, Jerome Cortez. Opposite hitter from De La Salle, Bacolod, number 2, Toto De Pedro. Starting center from the University of the East, number 6, JM Apolinario. Middle blocker from the Philippine Christian University, number 13, Nas Guaza. Middle blocker from San Beda University, number 14, Rash Nursidik. And outside spiker, number 21, Jade Desquitado. Their starting libero is number 9, JM Espanso. Head coach for Iloilo is Mr. John Kenneth Panes.
All right, here we go, folks. The Navigators Iloilo going up against the Signal HD Spikers, the battle of two of the top 3 teams in our open conference. The same starters wearing black today for Signal HD: Bugawan, Espejo, Casania, Torres, Miguel, Marasigan, and Sumangid. And as for Iloilo, there we go, the youngsters: Disquitado, Dursidic, Guaza, De Pedro, Apolinario, Cortez, and Espanso. Same lineups for our 2 coaches coming into today. Now, we do welcome you to our coverage with Diana Perlas and Neil Flores. My name is Mix Gomez. Neil, my first question to you. As we have seen in this conference, we have Peter Torres and Wendell Miguel stepping into the starting lineup for the departures of Louis Ramirez and Rex Intal. What can you say about their performance so far as De Pedro scores the first point?
We have to note na ito yung mga mainstays ng Signal HD Spikers, so it was very easy for them to jive with the new center in EJ Casania. Wendell Miguel, I think, was the number 3 scorer entering their number 3 attacker coming into their previous game. And for Peter Torres, again, he has been one of the deadliest weapons of the HD Spikers. He was the second stringer previously, but now he has taken back the reins in that position.
Timeless as they go, the Signal HD Spikers. Isa pa yan, Mark Espejo, timeless as always. 25 years old. He plays like he's a legend already. As he serves right now. We saw a service error from Nas Guaza. That's why we're tied at 1-all. A miss hit now from Cortez.
Set was too tight to that antenna, but that was a steady pass from Espanso.
Mark Espejo back at the service line. He is the number 1 server so far in our open conference. Well, he's known for that, right?
And last conference, he was a bit inconsistent when you look at the jump serves. But now, every time he rips that ball, kita mo naman yung control and force.
And speaking of control, Toto De Pedro, not much power needed on that one, but well enough to score.
Second point already for De Pedro in this first frame.
Pedro is their 5th leading scorer. That's for Iloilo. Ayan, ang top scorer ng Signal HD.
That would be probably the biggest challenge in the middle blocker position because Bugawan, again, 11 out of 12 attempts. Nung tinitingnan ko yung stats, gulat na gulat ako. He only missed 1 attempt.
Right? He's always been known for his efficiency, no? But now, he is the top scorer of Signal HD, number 15 in the conference with 100 points coming into this matchup. And that's 18 points over Mark Espejo so far. Here's team captain, Jerome Cortez will score.
And that's what you want to see if you're on the side of the Navigators Iloilo. No intimidation whatsoever against the Signal HD Spikers. Again, newly built team.
Right.
So coming from different universities, different coaches also. But seems like nabuo sila talaga.
Right.
And it's a very convincing record right now for Iloilo.
We have to also remember, as we see that block from Rashnur Siddiq, these players of the Navigators Iloilo, they went up against each other during the Mascara Festival in Bacolod. Kumbaga parang nakabuo sila ng all-star team na pinadala ngayon sa Spikers Turf.
And I guess, pag part ka ng all-star team, hindi na ganun kahirap mag-adjust dun sa sistema ng bagong coaching staff.
Ito hindi na all-star team, all-star talaga si Mark Espejo from the back.
So many gold medals here for the Signal HD Spikers in their respective careers.
What else can we say about this guy? Soon as he stepped into the UAAP, already made his mark. Now in the Spikers Turf, playing alongside Isay Marasigan from Batangas City, the team captain of Signal HD. Ball up, misreceived by Disquitado. Espanso will give it back to Jade, but that was really hard for him.
Yeah, it's a very difficult set to hit actually for Jade Disquitado. But again, he is the best offensive weapon for the Navigators Iloilo. 18 years old,
Yes.
but managing to set the record this conference with 32 points if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is
Nilampasan
right.
niya yung kay Bandola, 31 of National U.
How about that? The youngsters in the Spikers Turf scoring the highs in our conference. And now here's another youngster, Jerome Cortez, this time from the opposite.
We've always had a lot of talent here in the Spikers Turf. That's why these young players are actually the foundation of our national team.
Nag-national team na nga itong si Jay Disquitado, who Iloilo missed for 2 weeks. Pipe again. How do you stop that?
You just have to be in that right position, hope for a good rebound from your block so that you can control that hit from Mark Espejo. That's one of his favorite attacks to make. That zero tempo pipe attack.
And as you can see, Nasguaza had to jump twice, but still it was too late for that pipe attack. Balik tayo. Ito naman si Wendell Miguel, who has been splendid this conference. Nasguaza from the middle, rejected, chased by JM Apolinario. And here's Disquitado, return to sender.
Not a good move to actually challenge the three-man block of Signal HD Spikers. Nobody moved. Everybody just had that right timing. Very cohesive pattern from Signal HD. Even Casanyo dropped his hands last second because he already knew that Jade Disquitado would be challenging the blocking of Peter Torres and Mark Espejo.
Very tall blockers right there. Now, it's a service ace for Wendell Miguel, who had the help of the net. And that will send us to the first technical timeout for Signal and Iloilo.
Dapat hindi lahat. Kailangan may isa talaga para nakukuha natin yung ganun. Okay lang na na-block, bago na lang ulit. Bigyan mo ulit ng chance. Tapos, Wens, may 8 don't forget. Reminder sa ngayon na may 8, don't forget yan. O, same target pa rin, kung sino yung tinatarget natin.
Nice play yung may saraping sa amin yung coverage. Sabi ko.
Malapit kamay nun, ha? Wala na.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023. Maayong hapon sa tanan ng taga Iloilo. A dream come true as well for the Iloilo D Navigators to be going against the Signal HD Spikers, as dati parang nanonood lang nila yung Signal HD Spikers. Ngayon face-to-face na, and head coach John Panis believes that this is great motivation for his squad, as in the last game parang ayaw nilang lumaro. But for some reason, extra happy ang D Navigators coming into this game, but it could actually be because they're going against their idols. Back to you, Mix and Neil.
So have you seen that so far, yung extra happiness ng Iloilo?
Yeah, although they're still trailing by 2 points, but I would say they're putting up a good challenge so far against the HD Spikers, keeping it close. Again, now they have a free ball.
They do seem to be playing loosely here as they celebrate that point of Nasquaza.
Who is naturally an outside hitter, but as you said kanina,
Wala, embrace na talaga
Yeah.
yung pagiging middle niya.
he's embracing that position really well. And he's very athletic. So he can actually run these zero tempo plays.
One of the smallest middle blockers that we have in men's volleyball. At the middle, Guaza did not find the line.
Asking for a check ball.
If you talk to him, by the way, he is such a fun guy, itong si Nas Guaza. He's one of the leaders right now of the Navigators Iloilo. Dalawa sila ng best friend yan, na si JM Apolinario. And that is in the words of Jay Disquitado, by the way. Serve here, Peter Torres. Espanza got the first ball. Apolinario to De Pedro. What a start for Toto.
Smart hit, really just targeting the hands of EJ Casanya. Could have gone either way. Pwede rin cross court, pero mas malapit nga yung set dun sa antenna. That's why he targeted that right hand of Casanya.
So, it's just a 1-point game, folks. 8 serving 9. Again, these two are two of the top 3 teams in our league so far. Strong serve by Disquitado. Back set. Mendel. Make that. Isay Marasigan.
A lot of back row hits coming from the side of Signal HD. Sometimes yung focus mo nasa harap na, pero most of the time pupunta si Casanya dun sa back row.
EJ did have 24 excellent sets in their previous matchup. What an addition for Signal HD. De Pedro. Ball up. Great effort by Sumanggid. Espejo on the off speed. Apolinario. Mula sa likod, Jay Disquitado.
That's his first point. Things are heating up here in the first set.
Oh, they're going at it.
I'm sure may marka si Jay Disquitado sa mga mata ng HD Spikers. That's why they're targeting him on the serve.
Disquitado, we did mention 32 points in their previous outing, 139 in total so far in our open conference. Good for league best. And there is JP Bugawan, the leading scorer of Signal.
Ako masabi. I mean, look at how he shifted that angle. Yung iniwas niya talaga dun sa blocking ng Iloilo. And with that leaping ability, just so many options really for JP Bugawan.
Where do you think, as Espejo gives us that service error, where do you think JP Bugawan stands right now as in that list dun sa best middle blockers ng Pilipinas?
He's probably in the top 2, I would say. Very consistent in attacking, pero defense-wise, ang laki din ng contributions niya for Signal. And as I say that, he scores another point off that quick attack. No blockers in sight for the Navigators Iloilo. And blocking yung magiging best friend mo against Signal HD.
Just towering over Iloilo so far. You did mention Bugawan doing it on both ends. He is also the #1 blocker in our open conference. Oh, that's too close. And Signal will make Iloilo pay.
Again, JP Bugawan targeting Jay Disquitado on the serve. Forcing them to be out of system.
Apolinario can only do so much in that play. Regalo para kay Wendell Miguel. Balik tayo kay JP. Misreceived. Nursidik. There you go. Kept back. Signal HD just dominating here. 4-point lead though, still very possible for a comeback for Iloilo in set number 1 as we get into this timeout.
Pwede tayo mag-cross-court. Okay? Pwede tayo mag-cross-court. Pwede din tayo mag-back doon pa rin. Okay? Receive mo na, receive. Receive. Tingnan natin yung ginagawa ng kalaban. No? tapatan mo yung bola, hindi pwedeng gano'n mo lang tapatan mo, sige, mo, nililinis sa kamay mo. Yung bola muna. Okay?
Dandaan
lang, bago isa lang.
Coke float, peach mango pie.
Oh, yan na. Let's go!
Not sure if you guys heard that on air, but Coke Float Peach Mango Pie. Play kaya yon ng Iloilo? Siguro naman di sila nag-order ng takeout dito, no?
Maaga pa para magutom, mahaba-haba pa to.
Simula pa lang tayo. 14 to 10 our score, Signal HD. Couple of straight points for JP Bugawan and company. Jay Disquitado did tell us before this game that their previous loss against Imus was a big wake-up call because they did feel a little bit relaxed after winning the first games for their team in this conference. Minsan may ganun talagang tendency, no?
That's right. And now Signal is starting to pull away, establishing a 5-point lead. You can sense the frustration also dun sa attackers ng The Navigators Iloilo. They've been trying to target these sharp angles kasi kokonti lang yung gaps na iniiwan ng HD Spikers, but they have been unsuccessful.
De Pedro so far has been their best attacker as the ball is deflected. Chance here for Iloilo. Cortez, another block.
That is another block point for Signal HD, but that point will go to the Navigators Iloilo.
Well, all right, there seems to be some confusion here.
5 attack faults already for Iloilo. None for Signal. I think this challenge will be rejected by the first referee. So that will be a point for the Navigators Iloilo.
Okay. So it is 11 serving 15. Jerome Cordes sending it in. Ball up by Espejo. And here comes Wendell Miguel. Buhay pa rin. Mula sa likod. Jerome Cordes.
They've had more success from the pipe attack compared to the front row. And looks like that can be the strategy of Apolinario.
Well, JM Apolinario, as you mentioned, is the #1 setter. So this is definitely going to be a statement game for him as well. A service error here. Very, very unfortunate timing for Cordes. And that will send us to our second technical timeout.
Kanina, basa muna bago galaw. Yung kay Mark na dinepensan, dapat atras ka dito. Nag-back row eh, atras ka. Wala kang abangan na drop pull doon. Sa'yo dapat. Okay?
Check.
Basta kailangan natin sipagan.
Ambience.
Ha? Sipagan natin.
Ang dagdag ko lang dun sa block. Pagka ba-block tayo, straight lang. Wag na natin ganyan, wag na natin ganyan. Kung didikit tayo, straight lang lagi. Sumusunod tayo dun sa angulo ng bola, lagi tayo nakagana na. Kaya nahihirapan dumipensa yan sa likod.
Nasa likod, yes.
Ha? Okay, okay.
Sige, go. Wala.
$16 to 12, Signal HD off to a good start here against the Navigators Iloilo. The Spikers of Signal, they haven't lost a single set so far, dominating against their first 8 opponents: Santa Rosa, Imus, Air Force, Navy, Cotabato, Vanguard, Army, and VNS. As for Iloilo, they won their first 6 games before dropping their previous outing against Imus. It's close for Disquitado. Back set this time. Cordes put up by Marasigan. And here's Espejo. That was already on the ground.
Again, another pipe attack coming from the HD Spikers. So, kailangan mag-adjust din ng depensa ng The Navigators Iloilo. They need to move forward a few steps para maabot yung mga pipe attacks ni Marasigan and Espejo.
17 to 12 the score right now. Ball up by Espanso. Apolinario to the open. Disquitado checks it out.
Finding his advantage against the shorter blocker on the floor for the HD Spikers.
You think we're gonna see a lot of check balls today?
Most probably because yung outstretched arms ng Signal HD, mahirap talaga i-challenge yan. So you would really need to target the fingertips or the offhand of the blockers.
Service ace here for Iloilo. They will definitely take that. Again, it's just arm's reach here for the D Navigators. (14 serving 17 now. Rash Nursidik has been teammates with Jay Disquitado for the longest time. The slide, signature Peter Torres, but kept alive. Almost another check. Back and forth we go. Torres is rejected. What a block by Nasguaza.
Good timing on the block. Even if may slight disadvantage dun sa height, Guaza anticipated that attack from Peter Torres well.
Is that the quickness by Nasguaza?
Yeah, again, athleticism, it's there for Guaza. But these unforced errors will just help Signal maintain this lead.
It's going to be back to a 3-point deficit for Iloilo as Miguel will now serve. Wendell Miguel, 57 points coming into this matchup, number 36 in our open conference. But his efficiency has been very impressive, Neil. 49%. Mataas yun, di ba?
Yeah, that's a good number.
By the way, JP Bugawan's efficiency is 64%. As you get to see that attack from Cortez.
Mas maganda yun. Siyempre.
But how about Iloilo? Just really fighting here.
Most of their points coming from that back row hit. Pag nasa harapan, they're using the hands of the blockers of the HD Spikers. But it's about scoring consecutive points.
Ooh,
and
another
not giving
service
them
error.
bonus points from that service line.
This is not a good trend for Iloilo. They are dead last in the league in terms of services. Now it's Signal HD substitution. It is Alexis Faitaren checking in. Ito si Faitaren. We didn't see much of him last year.
He was part of the coaching staff, but now he's back in uniform.
How about that, Luxarino, for you to have a playing coach? Chance here for Signal. Casanya onto Mark Espejo. The block goes straight outside.
Mark Espejo had to control that hit. Wasn't the power na hinahanap siguro niya, but he was able to tool the blockers. Na late doon si Guaza, and the trajectory was just too high and wide for the Navigators Iloilo.
It's 20 serving 60. Faitaren on the serve. Chased by Apolinario. Disquitado, tumama sa antena.
More errors for Iloilo City right now, and that was their problem against Imos ITP in that 5-set loss.
Yeah, 33 errors in that previous matchup. Timeout.
20 minutes. Malayo pa yan, ha? Receive muna tayo din, atake. Adjust tayo. Okay? Sino ba yung sa harapan? Kayo yung tatlo. Mababa pa rito yung isa. Pwede pa kayo tutok. Ha? Masyadong dikit kayo dalawa. Tuloy mo, quick. Ha? Distansya ko. Pag nag-quick distansya sa net, huwag masyadong kasi para maka-dis-dis. Di ba kato sa'yo? Jay, bawal Jay. Tara. Hey, Navi! Go! Go.
Iloilo looking for answers here against Signal HD, but again, we also mentioned the errors for this squad coming in at the most unfortunate moments. 21 serving 16. Alexis Faitaren still at it. Ball is in. Espanso gets the first ball again. Disquitado, tapos misplaced by the setter. Espejo, lagay, buhay. Espanso, kabila. De Pedro. Ooh, definite net touch.
There's a net violation against EJ Casanya.
Well,
His elbows hit the black part of that net. Pagkababa.
Oo. Walang takas na yan. Galaw na galaw yung net doon. 17 serving 21. Disquitado onto Sumanggit. They go to the quick. Couldn't be chased anymore by Apolinario.
I think right now JP Bugawan is still 3 for 3, 100% efficiency on that quick attack.
You think he's trying to beat the 11 out of 12?
Let's see if he can keep it up. But what about the passing of Manuel Sumanggid? On point,
Right.
di na nagalaw itong si EJ Casanya. Very easy for him to set up JP Bogawan like that, make that 4 out of the 4 attempts that he had so far.
You think Pugawan now has a case for MVP?
Usually, pag sa MVP kasi, ang alam ko, they check all the skill set categories. So, kadalasan, napupunta siya sa mga outside hitters or opposite hitters. But there's still a possibility that he can actually get that award. As long as he's there in the serving, blocking, and attacking category, he can have a chance.
Now it's 7 chances, 7 set points for Signal HD in the first one. That was deflected. The attack by Guaza. Back set, down the line. It's outside.
It was just too fast for us to see. But that is outside, clearly wide. Point for the Navigators.
Boy, these attackers of Signal HD is really talented. Sa lagay na yun, nawala na nga si Rex Intal and Louie Ramirez. Intal played earlier for Cotabato. Ito naman si Louie Ramirez. Nasa Imus na. Sumanggid, another pass. That was successful, but the attack was rejected. Off speed. Another block. They go back to Isay. Cross. Outside ulit.
Back-to-back errors this time for the HD Spikers.
So Iloilo still pushing here. It's still 5 set points for the black shirts. Nas Guaza, he had a service error to start this matchup. Crucial one now. That's in Sumanggid. Look at the passing. The tip kept alive. Cortez. Tawid sa kabila. Casanya set kay Espejo. At wala na. Jay Disquitado was off balance. Looks like he hurt his ankle a little bit.
And nagkamali din siya ng basa. He was actually preparing for the dig dun sa cross-court angle ni Mark Espejo, but nag-change yung direction eh. And he wasn't able to recover.
Wala ka na magagawa sa ganong basa ni Mark Espejo. Great start for Signal HD. 25-19 after set 1. Signal HD on the board for today's matchup in terms of sets. 25-19 was the score in set number 1. So they continue to stay undefeated sets-wise in our tournament.
It was just really the attacking of the HD Spikers that set them aside against Iloilo. The unforced errors of the Navigators helping Signal maintain that lead. And at least ang maganda sa nakita natin sa Iloilo in that frame was na-activate nila yung back row attack nila, and that can be their primary weapon against the blocking of Signal HD, because I've noticed na every time nasa back row yung attacker ng Iloilo, medyo naglo-loosen up yung blocking pattern ng Signal HD. That's why the Navigators had a lot of points from that. Cortez already has 5 points and De Pedro with 3. Jay Disquitado still quiet with 2 points, but for Signal it's Mark Espejo with 6 and Bugawan with 5. Close lang yung attacking department between these two teams, but the Navigators got 9 unforced errors. Even in the blocking, isa lang yung lamang ng signal sa serving. And that's really what set them aside nung set number 1.
Again, the problem was the same for Iloilo in their previous matchup where they had 33 errors against Imo City. The last 3 games of the D Navigators have reached 5 sets. That's against Navy, Santa Rosa, and Imos respectively. And now we see another service error.
That's the 10th error of the match for the Navigators.
EJ Casanya serving now, straight to Disquitado. Angat, Guaza, tip back, Apolinario onto the open. Great effort by Signal HD. And here's Mark Espejo, a little bit low. Casanya, kabila naman, Marasigan. That defense coming alive. Casanya to the quick, Pugawan is rejected. See the activity of our players. That's the longest rally so far, and it's won by Signal HD.
Good defense being shown to us by the Navigators, blocking most of the attempts of the HD Spikers, but Marasigan putting an end to that rally.
Great attack right there. That's Guaza. Almost asked for a challenge, but it wasn't given to him. So balik tayo kay EJ Casanya at the service line. Here's De Pedro. Scored a couple of points in set 1. Dug comfortably. Espejo's turn. Off speed. Recovery for the D Navigators. Looks like there's going to be a challenge here.
They're asking for a floor touch. They're claiming na yung pancake save from Iloilo wasn't successful.
Espejo was so convinced that there was a floor touch already. So let's see. This is the first challenge of this matchup. Something that has been very much utilized in our open conference. Neil, as we await this challenge, I want to ask you about the top team so far in our playoff picture. So you do have Signal undefeated, Iloilo and Cotabato currently with 6 wins and 1 loss. Imos is number 4, 6 wins and 3 losses. And remember, Brian Bagunas is coming.
And dadating nga siya sa semifinals. So that will be an interesting matchup. Kasi ang tagal na nating hindi nakita si Brian Bagunas against Mark Espejo.
Right.
So that has always been one of the must-see matches here in the Spikers turf. There's a floor touch. That will be a successful challenge for Mark Espejo and the rest of the black shirts.
All right. So EJ Casanya will serve again. 3 love our score in set 2. Guaza from the middle. Kept alive. Off speed. Buhay pa rin. Apolinario. Toto De Pedro against 2 blockers. Great effort by Espejo and Bugawan.
Tight blocking. And they have identified the best scorers right now sa side ng Iloilo, locking down on De Pedro.
It has been a big challenge so far for Iloilo to try to score against these tall blockers of Signal HD. Almost a service ace, but it went long for EJ Casanya.
Not a lot of combination plays actually from Signal HD. They're sticking to the basics.
May ganong tendency ba during a start of a game na basics muna tayo before you go combinations?
Sometimes yung mga setters, they just find the right timing. Hindi naman kailangan lagi na combination play. Like that, it wasn't really a combination play from the middle na umiikot yung mga tao. It's more of differentiating the tempos of the attackers on the floor. 0 tempo for Bugawan, differential for Mark Espejo in that reverse set. Kaya kahit hindi sila kumombinasyon, may mga naiiwan na blockers on the side of their opponent.
See, the funny thing is, you see the effort from Iloilo, and when you see attacks like that na hindi nila mablock sina Espejo, tumatalikod sila ng minsan nakangiti. Alam nila they did their best. But what can you do? As we see, couple of blocks here, JP Bugawan winning the joust.
Just unchallenged in that position. That's 3 rejections from JP Bugawan, but yung last power tip na yun, you really felt that conviction
May patingin pa si JP Bugawan. A little bit of a stare after that. And he got a warning as well from our first referee. 6 serving 1 in set 2. Ooh, a service ace from the #1 server in the Spikers turf, Mark Espejo.
The Navigators just flat-footed, really different movement we're seeing compared to that first set when they played loose.
Right. At dumidikit sila nun. Just a couple of points behind before that last second push of Signal HD. Espejo, another sharp serve.
What a serve!
It was so fast and so sharp that the fans just rejoiced here at the sidelines. 8-1 early score in set 2.
Okay? Unti-unti.
Yung jump serve.
Okay? Huwag na natin bigyan sila ng gano'n, no? Tinan mo. Kumpiyansa na sila. Hindi na sila natakot mag-error. Lagi pito lang. Okay?
Go, isa-isa lang. Isa-isa lang natin.
Kaya. Pwedeng bilisan ng konti. Mas mabilis na konti.
Dalita ko ito.
Okay. Kasi ito, hindi naman sa sobrang taas yung rin. Naabot na tayo. Lapit dyan.
Sige.
Pag ganito, tingnan mo tayo.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023. Now, same goal and same objective for the Signal HD Spikers. And according to head coach Dex Clammer, it's just to stick to the system. Ang sabi niya, napaka-effective daw yung system nila. They never change their system based on their opponents. And given na 8-0 sila, the system is effective. And they have never reached the point wherein they said, we need to change things up. And head coach Dex thinks that it's also because each player has their own individuality system within the team system. Back to you, Mix and Neil.
Definitely something that you can trust. Not only the main system, but the individuality systems of Signal HD currently working again as Miguel attacks. It is 8-2 off of the point by Cortez. Jerome again. Kept alive. Chased by Sumang. It's kept alive by Espejo. Wow! What a set to Bugawan. Pero buhay pa rin. Chance here for Signal. Sumanggid. Miguel, the tip. Another good rally. Cortez finding the back row. Back-to-back points for Jerome Cortez.
Cortez shaping up to be the best player for the Navigators. Hindi yung hinahanap natin. If your main weapon is checked, who will step up?
And sino pa ba? The team captain of the white shirts. Oh, folks, I'm so sorry you didn't see it on air, but JP Bugawan gave us another hammer.
Just another day in the office for JP Bugawan.
See the setup, beautifully put up by EJ Casanya. At tumatawa na lang si Todo de Pedro after that effort.
And sa replay, makikita mo kung gaano ko powerful yung arm swing ni JP Bugawan. That's why he generates so much power and force on that quick attack. The Navigators chipping dun sa lead ng Signal slowly but surely, also maximizing these errors given up by the HD Spikers.
Iloilo's being led by that guy, Jerome Cortez, who served 9-4. Ooh. Tumawid dun si Miguel. Hopefully he's okay.
Cut shot from Wendell Miguel.
Okay lang naman siya. Just shaking it off.
Oh, lumampas dun sa possession dapat nung bola. It was close to the antenna. But the tempo was there. Low C set from Casanya.
Pipe from Espejo did not work. Desquitado off target. He really hasn't gotten his own momentum for today.
Still finding that range on his attacks.
Still a lot of time for Jay Desquitado. We have seen him start slow a couple of times, but he has ended well for the D Navigators. We did mention the past couple of games have been 5 sets for Iloilo. Usually sa 5th set, dyan nabubuhay si Desquitado.
He needs to keep on hitting para makuha niya yung range niya.
Apolinario mula sa likod. Cortez kept alive by Marasigan. Espejo. Another great rally. Cortez tip. Saved. Uh-oh. The Punisher right there from Rash Nursidik.
Powerful attack of that Regalo. Made sure na hindi na yun babalik sa court nila.
How about this rally, Neil? The effort.
Better exchanges we're seeing also for these two teams.
By the way, Sumanggit has been all over the floor. No less than that. Torres is rejected. Jay Disquitado, that could be an opener for him.
Yeah. If you can't find that confidence from the attacks, get it first sa defense until mag-build up yun to the next skill set categories. Chumason Jigha replacing Peter Torres here in set number 2.
Remember, Jigha was a magic bunot in the previous conference. Could be very useful here for Coach Dexter Clamor. 6-2 run in favor of Iloilo. Wendell Miguel. That is long.
Tried to find that zone 1 area open. It was empty actually, but just too wide for Wendell Miguel.
And the timeout now for Coach Dexter.
Alright, una, hinga muna, hinga. Sabi ko na, dito tayo sa position 4, medyo hindi kagad nakakaikot.
Madali kayo, sir.
Mag-discarte talaga tayo. O, maximize mo to. Pwede ka mag-5 sa gitna. Pwede ka rin mag-8. Frontline ka rin. Mapasahan lang muna natin. Minsan kasi ginagawa nila, pagkapito ng referee, na madali kagad nila. So, medyo hindi tayo ready. So, ready kagad tayo pumasa. Ikot tayo, ikot.
Kuya Pete, mas advantage tayo kung short back lang. Oo. Short back mo lang lagi. Di ba nablock dun eh? Nakisapalo pa lang siya.
Dito yung setter, oh. Kung binigay mo dun, wala siya ng blocker. Signal! Signal!
One thing.
Neil, break it down for us in layman's terms.
Ang daming nangyari doon sa
Oo.
timeout na yun. Well, first of all, Coach Dex was actually pointing out na itong specific rotation, dito sila medyo tumatagal, so they have to get one stop. Now, Mark Espejo and Isay Marasigan was actually giving instructions to EJ Casanya kung ano yung spacing na maganda para magkaroon ng free blockers.
He tried to go to Jinga. Oh! Strong hit from Disquitado, but kept alive by Espejo, and that time it's low from Cortez.
Cortez has been doing a splendid job for the Navigators, but that hit was just too low. Mark Espejo getting hit by the chest from that attack of Jay Disquitado. Na-save pa at napaganda pa for the HD Spikers.
By the way, Jay Disquitado's idol is the guy that he hit.
Yeah.
Si Mark Espejo. Wonder how he feels after that one. Apolinario back to Jade. Kept alive, Marasigan. Espanso puts it up. JM, Disquitado again. Sumanggit was there. Another good rally from the back this time. Deflected. Apolinario, quick. That's gonna work for Nasquaza.
Great set from Apolinario. Recognizing that approach from Guaza. That's what they need. They need to activate the middles.
Nasquaza is their third leading scorer coming into this matchup behind Disquitado and Cortez. At 72 points before this game, Jigga asking for a check, but it won't be given to him.
They will not challenge that call. It was a miss hit also from Njeka.
How about this 9-3 run for Iloilo after the first technical timeout? Almost a service ace, but that's long for Apolinario. JM Apolinario, not the tallest of setters. He's currently still in college with UE, 22 years old. Long way to go for him.
You might just see him in the UAAP maybe in the near future. But for now, he is the #1 setter here in the Spikers turf, and he's up against a lot of veteran setters.
How about that matchup? Another youngster versus veteran. Disquitado. You think he's getting his groove now?
Yeah, I think better footing also, better contact point from Jay Disquitado. And if you want to get your range, ganoon naman talaga dapat. Umatake ka lang ng umatake. Don't go to a lot of soft touches unless you are forced to do so.
Serve Asanya. Was that a quick tip from him? Nevertheless, they get the point.
Right now, Iloilo already has 6 service errors for Signal. They have 3 service errors, and yung aces naman, it's 4 for Signal and 1 for the Navigators.
Well, these two are extremes. In terms of services in our open conference, Signal HD is the best serving team Iloilo, they're dead last in that category. Espejo, across.
It's volleyball 101.
Actually, it's not the most powerful attack, but it still looks powerful, no?
There were a lot of times in the previous conference where Mark Espejo would actually force his hits kind out of system. But right now, I have noticed na grabe yung control and restraint. And he has been identifying the holes kahit na hindi ganun kalakas yung palo. But Iloilo will get that point back.
Jerome Cortez going at it against these blockers of Signal HD.
Cortez also nearing that double-digit mark for the Navigators. Kanina, ang layo rin ang kalamangan ng Signal HD, but now, dalawa na lang.
Goto de Pedro keeping it alive. Chance here. Casanya looks and sets, but the whistle was blown.
Norcidic knew it. He wanted to go for a block, but wasn't able to control yung momentum niya pababa. Gumalaw talaga yung net.
Nakangiti na lang siya. Wala nang takas yan.
That's why vertical jump is very important here in the sport of volleyball. Pag broad jump kasi, paminsan sumusobra ka talaga eh. So that break foot will play a crucial role in your approach.
Espejo serving. He has 12 points already. Cortez has been playing very well.
And Apolinario can build on that performance of Cortez. Because Signal has been having a hard time rejecting yung atake nitong ni Cortez.
Babawi ba? Wendell Miguel. Yes! Ball goes straight to the fans of Signal HD and they are delighted. And that will send us to our second technical timeout. Another beautiful 1-2-3 from Signal HD. Sumanggid, Casanya, and Miguel.
Huwag kang manggigil, pre. Unahan mo yung bola. Unahan mo yung bola dito sa kabila. Kaya hindi pwede. Hindi na tapos titingnan yung kamay mo bago ka pala mag-block. Natingnan mo yung kamay mo. Tara, tara. Wala, tatlo nga lang, oh. Tara, kaya. Go!
Back inside the Paco Arena in Manila. The score is 16-13 in set number 2. Signal HD taking the first set. And they have the lead here. Although it was a good scare from the D Navigators of Iloilo. After being down 1-8. Approaching the first technical timeout. They have closed in. But they're still facing a 3-point deficit here. There seems to be some confusion with the substitutions of Iloilo.
Making sure that they follow the protocol dun sa pag-exchange ng middle blocker and libero, or yung first libero and second libero.
JP Bogawan, the leading scorer of Signal, coming into this matchup at the service line. 16-13. Ball up by Disquitado, over-received, and Miguel punishing Iloilo.
Well, if he's in the back row, talking about Jade Disquitado, he has to focus on the first pass. Doesn't matter if he goes for an approach, pero napaka-importante na makakuha ka ng magandang pasa so that you can score from the front line. And Cortez is right there, just waiting for the set, galing kay Apolinario.
As you mentioned, Disquitado has been well targeted. Now with the help of Espanso, slide. Norcidic likes that, but it was rejected. Oh, tough angle. Still, Cortez able to make something out of it.
He is the brightest spot right now for the Navigators Iloilo.
Ironically, Jerome Cortez, even though he's listed as the captain of Iloilo, he is one of their most silent guys. In the words of J. Disquitado, he just leads by example. But the reason why he is assigned with that captainship is because he's the longest tenured player in the system of the D Navigators. Will there be a challenge here?
There will be a challenge. ball in or ball out challenge definitely from the Navigators Iloilo.
It was Toto De Pedro who asked for that challenge from Coach John Panis.
Pwede bang i-overrule nyo na para di masira yung momentum?
17-14, our score in set number 2. You think Iloilo's playing a better set compared to set number 1? Kasi dikitan din naman yung first part nun.
Yeah, the things that they brought from set number 1 is yung mga magagandang ginagalaw ni Cortez and Apolinario also, yung distribution niya. Bringing that here to set number 2. They will win that challenge. That was definitely inside corner pocket for Jade Desquetado. Siguro ito na yung confidence booster when we talk about offense.
So 2 challenges so far, both of them successful. 1 each for both Signal and Iloilo. 17-15. Marasigan. Ball sails outside.
Too strong to contain for the Navigators, and now double substitution. Coach Dexter, Joel Asia and Alfred Balbuena. Part-time analyst, part-time anchor, full-time HD spiker.
Ganyang kabisi yan, si Alfred Balbuena. Here to see him back on the court. And Jewel Asia. Ito si Jewel. Remember, when they were the champions in the Champions League, he was their main setter. He's also now an assistant coach for the DLSU Spikers in the UAAP.
A lot of players actually have been transitioning from playing papunta sa coaching.
Oo. Even Joe Umandal for UST. Baka bukas Neil Flores na rin, pero may cover muna siya. Alright, Desquetado's ejected again.
Still challenging the double block of Alfred Balbuena and Chumason and Jiga. No go for Jade Desquetado. Total shutdown.
At patatangkad pa rin no? Kahit coming off the bench. What a deep lineup this is of Signal HD. Asia with a serve. Apolinario. Back to their brightest spot.
He's been doing it all for the Navigators Iloilo. Somebody has to give support papunta dito kay Cortez.
16 serving 19. Iloilo still looking to tie or possibly get the lead. They've been trailing the whole of this set. Espejo from the back. My goodness.
I've seen a lot of clips from the training of Signal HD sa mga social media accounts nila. And ganyan na ganyan talaga yung pinapractice nila. That pipe attack, so deadly.
It's kind of funny when you see the reactions of Iloilo after these strong hits.
I mean, it happens so fast. So kahit sino naman siguro on the floor, pag lumagpas bigla sa'yo yung bola, magkulat ka na lang.
Ooh, did you see that? That's Guaza.
I think that was Jade Desquetado getting that point.
Yes, it was Jade, but before that, Guaza looked like he was giving a face to the Signal blockers. A funny face though, nothing offensive. Desquetado does get the point. It is 17-20 right now. And there's Nasguaza. He was smiling as he got up with the blockers of Signal HD. Asia, hindi na kinuha. That was too close to the net. Asia apologizes to Coach Dex. Lead is down to 2, folks. Iloilo, slowly but surely creeping in. Asia back sets Balbuena on the cross.
Balbuena with 2 points for the substitution. 1 kill block and 1 attack point. And I think he's also a performance coach, parang conditioning coach siya. That's why you see the hops there.
So ganun siya ka-busy Nagdagdagan mo pa yung mga trabaho niya mula kanina.
Bonus point for Iloilo City. Now they're within striking distance. Now is the time to make your move. They have Cortez in the front line. They have also si Guaza and De Pedro. Kaya pwedeng magpaikot itong si Apolinario. He should be unpredictable in this rotation because JP Bugawan is there manning the net for the HD Spikers.
Ooh, and there's JP with a strong hit.
Na nga eh, parang if you're guarding the likes of JP Bugawan, you need full commitment. Sometimes half block kasi pwede na eh. But if you don't have the height na 6'4 or 6'3,
Yes.
you really need to go on a full jump. And pag ginamit tuloy ni EJ Casanya si JP Bugawan as a decoy, ang laki ng space na may iwan dun sa left and right wings.
You mentioned the height of 6'4", 6'3". These navigators do not look like they're even 6 feet tall, no? What do you think?
Around 5'10", I think,
5'10".
yung average height nila.
And their middle blocker, Nas Guaza, is again not the tallest, as Espeo overcooked that one.
Yeah. Too high for Mark Espeo. Tried to go over the blockers of Iloilo.
Just a 2-point game in set number 2. The Navigators have already surpassed their set 1 output of 19 points. Nas Guaza with a crucial serve. Oh, way too low.
I was about to say he was very consistent on that jump serve in the past few rotations.
That's gotta hurt.
And now Iloilo sends Mark Espejo to the service line.
Mark Espejo lang naman. 23-20. Couple of service aces already for Mark. The quick. Sumanggit. That was also a very, very strong hit from Nursidik.
That was perfect 3 touches for the Navigators Iloilo. Good pass. Fast set from Apolinario. Nursidik just hit it straight down.
Bugawan, you see his approach. Papasok pa lang eh. Parang ang hirap ng pigilan.
And the timeout will be called by the Navigators.
Targetin yung ano, yung si Speo tsaka yung iba. Libero, tama mo butang.
O sa libero, sa
Yan mo, nakaka-create tayo ng score, oh, pag iba yung target natin, walang receive. Ano natin, pilitin natin, hindi pwedeng ganun lang, papasok lang. Pilitin natin maka-target. Hindi tayo ano niyan.
Kaya pa.
Sige, offense tayo. Okay, one good receive, offense tayo kaagad.
Let's go.
Okay?
Kaya pa yan. Dikit lang. Isa-isayin lang natin, isa-isayin.
Tara!
Go, guys!
Earlier, Ayana Perlas reported that the Navigators of Iloilo are going up against their idols, who are currently playing in the Signal HD Spikers. So you can only wonder how they're feeling right now. But they do have the fight in them. After scoring 19 in set 1, now they're up to 21 points. But it's 3 set points for the veterans of Signal. Bola by Disquitado, open. Cortez rejected, straight outside. So that's a point for the white shirts.
A lot of points coming from the left wing of the Navigators Iloilo. Cortez continuing to challenge the blockers of Signal. And this time, Signal will call a timeout. Just a 2-point lead.
Payong na lang ng konti, sayang. Anyway, one good pass, frontline setter. Frontline setter. O sistema lang. Masaan ng maayos, puso, pwedeng play one, pwede dito. Or bahala ka, pwedeng mag-backwick to para si Wendell. Maliit yung blocker niya. O pag kailangan idulo mo lang talaga. Para marami siyang options. Okay? O magsisimula yan sa isang maayos na pass. Last one.
Hey, signal! Signal!
So the awesomeness of Signal will now be challenging the blocker, that is JM Apolinario of the D Navigators. But you gotta love also the trust of Coach Dexter to EJ Casanya, giving him options. Siya na bahala. Here's EJ. He will go to the open. Wendell Miguel kept alive by Espanso. Disquitado, another great block.
And that's still alive.
Oh, hindi na may tatawid yan. That will end set number 2. Iloilo got closer, but just not enough. Final score of 25-22 to end the second set of this matchup. Signal HD continuing to dominate.
Great coverage from the side of Espanso. Yun nga lang, nabitin nung third touch. That will give Signal HD a 2-0 advantage against the Navigators Iloilo. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the 2023 Spikers Turf Open Conference. Signal bagging set number 2, 25-22. Still convincing win for the HD Spikers. Iloilo kept it close, especially in the latter stages of set number 2. But again, the third touch from that last pass, just too short. And now they're up. I mean, they are down 2 sets against the HD Spikers, looking for win number 9, the Navigators Iloilo. Still looking for win number 7 to actually solidify and secure their semi-final slot. Lot of attacks for both these teams. Cortez still the top scorer for Iloilo. It's the same for Signal HD. Balanced distribution. JP Bugawan, a lot of middle attacks. And even yung substitutions, the coach Dexter Clamore working for the HD Spikers. 4 blocks, but Signal gave out 7 bonus points papunta sa the Navigators in set number 2.
So at least for Iloilo, yung opponent's errors department ay nasa kanila na as compared to what happened in set number 1, giving up a lot of freebies to Signal HD. Yanni, welcome you to our coverage. This is Mix Gomez alongside Neil Flores and Ayana Perlas. An attack error here for Iloilo. They have been trailing for the whole of this matchup. And Signal HD, they look to extend their streak not only in match wins, but also in terms of sets. They haven't dropped a single set in the whole conference as Cortez continues with his great performance.
13th point unofficially for Cortez in this game against Signal. Disquitado with a quiet 6, De Pedro with 3. And for Signal, Espejo with 13, Bugawan with 9. And Wendell Miguel with 6.
De Pedro's 3 points came in the first half of set number 1. Ever since, he has been quiet. Almost an easy one. Still chased by Signal HD. Although hindi na nila may babalik yan.
A for effort though for Wendell Miguel. There was someone nearer dun sa bola, but he was the one who went for that attempt. Hinahanap pala ni JP Bugawan kung saan napunta yung bola.
Still, as you mentioned, great effort as Miguel has transitioned in that starting role in this conference, replacing Louis Ramirez. Oh!
Looks like it hit the face of Norsidik. Pumasok yung bola dun sa block niya.
And the ball is still in the second floor. That's how strong it was. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's a strong hit on the face. Ang maganda kay Rush Norsidik, okay lang, parang daplis lang din sa kanya yun.
Sanay na sila dyan.
De Pedro, we did mention, tagal na niyang hindi nagparamdam.
4th point of De Pedro after being quiet in set number 2. Started out well in the early stages of set number 1.
Now they have the lead, 3-2. De Pedro is one of the homegrowns. Magkalapit lang naman ang Bacolod at Iloilo.
Few hours.
JP Bugawan, another point.
JP Bugawan getting past the double block of the Navigators, pero at least nare-recognize na nung Iloilo na binibigyan talaga ni Casania si Bugawan ng attempts.
And he's also in double figures now, JP Bugawan, who is now serving the number 1 blocker in our conference. Here's Cortez. Overcooked it. Just like that, it's an easy swing for Signal. They get the lead back. JP Bugawan, as mentioned by Neil, can now be considered as one of the top 2 or 3 middle blockers in the country. Toto De Pedro, sobra na naman. This time it's wide.
Wanted to avoid the double block of the HD Spikers. Good idea, but kailangan on point yung execution. Bugawan right now is at 71% attack efficiency, 10 out of 14.
So mababa yan kumpara sa previous game niya.
Pero mataas na yun. 71%. Sobrang taas na nun.
It's still well above his 64% average in this conference as the push of Cortez went wide again.
Smart move from Marasigan, and yun yung mapapansin mo sa HD Spikers. Last second, they know when to drop their hands pag alam nilang ipapacheck sa kanila yung bola.
Galing.
You need fast reflexes sa mga ganyan.
6-3. That's 4 straight points for Signal. Espanza on the first ball. Ooh, Disquitado from the back.
Jay Disquitado flying in for that drop ball. Getting past the defense of Wendell Miguel.
You don't see many drop balls from Jay Disquitado. As you can see, he's very athletic. He usually smashes it onto the ground. Miguel, strong approach but rejected. Giga, kept alive by De Pedro. Disquitado again! Tough angle.
Too wide for Jay Disquitado. Very important to get a good approach on the ball, especially if it's out of system.
Are the attack errors coming back here for Iloilo?
Frustration is just really on the side of the White Shirts right now.
They did have 9 errors in set number 1. Espanzo getting it again. Cortez. Another point for Jerome. By the way, we should mention JM Espanzo. He is in the top 10 in receiving and digging. Number 6 in both categories in our conference.
That's why they have a 6-1 record. They could have won that game actually against Imus ITP. Now, it's very surprising to see the numbers of Jay Disquitado. He already has 7 points, but he was only able to convert 6 attacks from 25 attempts, so that's 24% compared to the 50% efficiency in the last game.
Reaction time. Ha? Yes. Hey, basta constant lang yung communication ng dalawa kung saan siya didepensa at kung saan ka pa-block.
Nice one, Bobby.
Go, shoot. Binigyan ka ng pagkakataon dyan. All out ka dyan. Wala naman makaka-block dito eh, ha?
Tuloy lang sa pace nga natin ito. Tayo sa pace natin.
Parang late yung follow mo kanina sa... Ha? Go, sige.
Babagsak sa gitna lang.
Sige lang.
Go, signal!
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023 live on One Sports Plus. Now, just yesterday, head coach John Panis actually started an open forum before training for the D Navigators and addressed the fact that it is really only Jay Disquitado who contributes and works for his team. Now, actually, with this, the D Navigators were very thankful, and like what you mentioned, Migs, it was the wake-up call that they needed to kind of get back into the game, get back into that winning streak, because young lapses and lack of in-game attitude can't be excuses. Back to you, Mix and Neil.
Wow, that's a big report right there. For us to know na may onting pag-call out no, na naganap para sa D Navigators. Well, their body language, as pointed out by a couple of analysts already, it has dipped down ever since the Jay Disquitado went away for 2 weeks playing with the national team. Aminado din naman sila, may relaxation na naganap because they have won their first couple of games. Question is now, can they close in even more against Signal HD? Disquitado tried to check it, and it does work.
That is a check ball for Jay Disquitado, and this is the first time we'll be seeing the Navigators try to bounce back after a loss kasi unang ang pagkatalo na yun against Imus ITP. And some teams would actually prefer to lose early on compared dun sa mga latter stages, especially yung semi-final round natin. Because you can have the best record in the preliminaries, then still end up losing your semi-finals match. It has happened so many times already.
Right? So Signal HD also, it applies to them that they're gonna have to play consistently as they score another point from the pipe.
Right now, you have to keep your eyes on the prize really every single game.
And again, you did mention Brian Bagunas will come back by the semi-finals, and that will definitely shake things up.
Imagine that front line for Imus, Francis Saura, Kim Malabung, and Brian Bagunas.
We talked about the height of Signal HD, but that's a taller front line as we get to see another attack error. You did mention the percentage of Disquitado in this matchup. It's really low.
Body language is very different also. Para dito sa The Navigators Iloilo. Very quiet on their end.
You think it's tough when you lose your first match, yung next yung kalaban yung undefeated?
Siyempre, I mean, the fact na alam mo, defending champions yung kakalabanin mo. And still no go for Jade Desquitado. But you see the trust na binibigay ni Apolinario.
Yes.
Na gusto niyang pabawiin si Jade Desquitado. That's why a lot of sets still given papunta sa kanya. But now, he will sit down first and let Engay occupy that outside hitter position.
This is going to be interesting for Iloilo. How can they step up with Desquitado on the bench? Ayan, and did also just say that Desquitado was quoted as the best worker of Coach John Panis.
But sometimes it happens to all the athletes. Sometimes may off day ka lang talaga. Maybe that this is one of the days for Jade Desquitado.
Toto De Pedro, he's had some moments so far. Espejo, that's low.
And even in the setter's position, you can see the difference of the excellent sets. 14 for EJ Casanya, only 5 for Apolinario.
Again, Apolinario is the #1 setter. Casanya is in the middle of the pack, but he has gotten high regards from the analysts. Playing very well this conference for Signal HD. Ball up by Engay. That's from the attack of Marasigan. The approach by Cortez. Espejo was there. Bugawan sets it up. Off speed. Buhay pa rin. Chase. Guaza gets it back. Kept alive by EJ. Sumanggid. Espejo. Deflected. Espanso. Apolinario. Back set. De Pedro. Longest rally so far. Open. Espejo rejected. What a rally. Chase now. Sumanggid. Chance ball Iloilo. Apolinario. Guaza. Buhay pa rin. Sumanggid. Balik kay Espejo. Oh, what a point for Signal HD.
Long rally won by the HD Spikers.
These are the moments that we live for, that sports fans live for. These rallies, just amazing to watch.
And talaga pinapahirapan ng The Navigators Iloilo itong Signal HD every single point. They're posing a challenge, that undefeated record. And if Signal wins this game in 3 straight sets, that's their 9th three-set win in this edition of our Open Conference of the Spikers Turf.
Parang yun lang yung option nila, no? Manalo ng 3 sets. 9 out of 9 so far. But as you mentioned, the effort is there for Iloilo. And again, these guys, they're part of one of the youngest teams, if not the youngest, in our Open Conference.
And I'm sure babalik pa itong The Navigators Iloilo in the next editions of the Spikers Turf. They will probably get stronger by acquiring more players.
More all-stars of Bacolod than Iloilo, no?
But now they still have to face JP Bugawan and that quick attack.
What a tall order. Literally that tall. JP Bugawan skying high again. Espejo serving. 14 points for Signal in this set. 9 for Iloilo. That's good. Over receive. Chance for Signal. Casanya to the quick recovery. Naibalik. Casanya back sets. Marasigan. Good block. Good coverage.
Self-coverage.
Oo. Balik tayo. De Pedro. Sharp hit. Kept alive. These rallies have been very interesting. See the effort, but the ball skies high. Isay Marasigan scores.
And he's been getting checked a lot also by the defense of Iloilo. So he loved that point after these defensive sequences.
We've been getting rallies, in this set. It will be gladly taken by everybody. Apolinario, open. Cortez, kept alive. Casanya, Marasigan again. Checks it out. Isay Marasigan scoring the 16th point of Signal HD in set number 3. We go to our second technical timeout. All conference long, we have talked about Mark Espejo and JP Pugawan leading the way in terms of attacking. But we simply cannot forget about their team captain.
Isay Marasigan again heating up in the last stages of set number 3. Too low of a serve from Mark Espejo.
It's a 6-point deficit for the D Navigators of Iloilo. They've kept at it, even with JT Skitado struggling. Now he's on the bench. Espejo from the pipe.
EJ Casanya just looking to close this one out. Biggest lead, I think, of this entire match in the past 2 sets. Nakadikit actually itong The Navigators Iloilo pagdating sa midpoint. But right now, Signal is just running away. 7-point lead.
They're well on pace to get their 9th victory, all in straight sets. Let's see if Iloilo can say something about that as Cortez attacks and scores.
Always a bright spot for the Navigators.
So JT Skitado will return here. Let's see what he can do. Mukhang iniiwas lang ba siya sa likod?
Siguro breather lang yung substitution na yun eh. Kasi multiple unforced errors consecutive for the Navigators. And gusto siguro ng coaching staff makapag-observe din si JT Skitado kung paano niya pwedeng palusutin yung mga atake niya.
Pero ito, si Giga, he got a lot of time to observe the start of this matchup. He came in the second set and has proven to be very effective. Double sub returning here, Jewel Asia and Alfred Valbuena. Got a couple of points in set number 2.
2 points in set number 2 for Alfred Valbuena.
There's the 26-year-old Jewel Asia. Sending that ball in. Service ace.
Again, instant point. Madalas na substitution ito ni Coach Dexter. Looks like he wants to field in one of the youngest players on the floor, Ariscado. Pero na-late sa protocol. So siguro sa next rally na lang, Coach.
Balik muna si Godfrey. Quick. Ball up. Sumanggid. Chases. Ooh, that stuff. Ooh! Naitawid pa rin ni Wendell Miguel.
The Navigators thought that it was already sailing outside because that set was tight. But Wendell Miguel using his offhand to put that ball in. Naiwasan pa niya yung center line ball.
The body control is spectacular to Wendell Miguel. And there's Godfrey Ariscado. We've seen him make his impact in the Champions League. Let's see what he can do for Signal.
Okay? Receive tayo, aggressive tayo sa receive. Okay, kulang tayo sa receive eh. Okay, nag-enjoy pa.
Go lang guys, go.
Paano tayo makadikit niyan? Wala natin.
Angat lang tayo. Try natin dumikit. Try. Go! Okay lang. Go save na ito.
I'm sure you guys noticed the good vibes that they're trying to spread across each other. Itong the Navigators of Iloilo. That's also one of the things that they said was missing in their previous games. They got a little more tense after building a couple of victories. Right now, pumapalag lang sila sa Signal HD, but right now this is the biggest lead that they're facing. So let's see if they can do the same at which they did in the first 2 sets. Esquitado rejected again. This guy has been checked all day long.
It's really not his day. You have to give credit also sa Signal HD because I'm sure that was the plan.
Yes.
To take out Esquitado out of the equation. Pero at least may saving grace pa rin itong Iloilo with Cortez putting up the numbers.
They go to Jerome. Down the line, it's outside. The lead is ballooned for Signal HD, doubling the scoring effort of Iloilo. Jewel Asia. When he plays, he looks very comfortable, no? Parang chill lang talaga si Jewel. Apolinario. Ooh! Ursidik finding Asia on the ground.
That was also one of the missing links siguro. More zero tempo quick attacks para dito sa The Navigators.
Roshidik had 6 points in their previous outing. Fourth best scorer of Iloilo behind Guaza, Cortez, and of course Disquitado. Ball up, good dig. Disquitado, checked again. What a day it has been. Look at the reaction of Jade.
I mean, you can just feel the frustration, but he's very young. He's just 18 years old. So ito yung mga moments na makakapag-build din ng character niya. He will look back to this game and iisipin niya kung ano ba sana yung nagawa niya na mas mabuti, because sometimes when you're having a bad day, it's very hard to focus on the solution na nasa harapan.
Right. Guaza on the quick, kept alive by Signal. Espejo! It's a nice block from Nas Guaza.
That must have felt good.
Yeah. And he definitely celebrated accordingly. He is number 9 in the league in blocking, itong si Nas Guaza. We were talking about his height earlier. You mentioned the average height of 5'10" for Iloilo. He doesn't even seem to be 5'10". Push here. Kept alive by JM Apolinario. Disquitado. That time it works.
Gets one through. Just really forcing that attack.
Iloilo playing loosely here. They do have nothing to lose at this point. Just try and try, as we heard in their huddle. Apolinario serving. Sumang got the first ball, and Jiga. How about this bunot from Coach Dexter?
Also very athletic middle blocker. You can see how deep the bench is for Signal HD. You also have Alexis Fighter in there, also a middle blocker. Now, Signal is finally at match point.
It's 10 match points for the black shirts. Ball up by De Pedro. They go to the tip of Disquitado. It's gonna work.
2 points. It's about ending this match in a good way, I guess.
Yes.
Mapalapit man lang yung score or ma-regain mo yung confidence mo by getting a few kills.
Because Iloilo, they do have 2 more games after this one. They would want to take good care of those 2 games as we approach the semifinals. What a set. What a set. And Espejo finishes the game. Signal HD continuing to stay undefeated, not only in matches, but in sets in the whole of the Open Conference. Now they go up to 9-0.
That is, yeah, win number 9. And this will be back-to-back losses for the Navigators Iloilo. They're still in the hunt. They still have a chance to enter the next round. Pero kailangan na nila maipanalo yung last 2 games nila.
We'll be back to wrap this one up.
Conference 2023, and the three-setter streak continues for the Signal HD Spikers. And of course, joining me now, yung best player of the game nawawala, pero ngayon nandito na siya. Of course, we have JP Bogawan, 11 points, 11 attacks, and 69% sa attacks. JP, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. JP, I would like to know, syempre sabi sa akin kanina ni Head Coach Dex that walang complaints with your team. Very perfect yung system ninyo, but you always try to look for something to improve on. Now, in your eyes, what is something that you guys think that you need to improve on or something that you learned in today's game?
Actually, hindi kami tumitigil sa pag-improve. Like, kung ano yung talagang ginagawa namin per game is dinidevelop and ini-enhance pa namin yung mga skill set namin.
Now, with that being said, I want to know, syempre 69% ka sa attacks, how do you work on your consistency in terms of your skill set?
Actually, hindi ako pakampante kumbaga na yes, even na ganun yung percentage ko, hindi talaga ako nasasatisfy. So, results speaks itself.
Yes, so always hardworking talaga for you, JP Bogawan now. Okay, thank you so much, JP, and congratulations to the Signal HD Spikers. The streak continues for them. Back to you, Migs and Neil.
And the results do speak for themselves. JP Bogawan, as mentioned by Ayana, 69% efficiency. Mababa po yan kumpara sa 92% niya in the previous game. But again, his average in this conference is 64%. That is good for number 1 in the Spikers turf.
That's good. 92% to 69%. Still not bad. A very convincing win for the Signal HD Spikers. Continuing to just dominate this Spikers Turf Open Conference. I mean, Mark Espejo putting up double digits. Chuma Saninjega also doing well, replacing Peter Torres, who also had an off game. And for the Navigators Iloilo, it was really unfortunate na ngayon pa nagkaroon ng off game si Jay Desquitado. But moving forward, at least they've identified other players that can actually step up, like Cortez. In all of the sets, dikit lang lagi yung attacks. Partida nga na off pa yung nilalaro ni Jay Desquitado, but it was really the unforced errors that gave this game away papunta sa side ng Signal.
Just like what happened in set number 1, the errors favoring the Signal HD Spikers as they win the 9th in this conference. Iloilo will go down to 6-2 with 2 remaining games for their squad as we close into our semifinals picture. As mentioned by JP Bogawan, there's no room to relax for them because we are in the finishing touches of our preliminaries. Santa Rosa, BNS, Imus, NU, Vanguard, Cotabato, they will be in action this coming Sunday. Still, the same venue, in the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. Folks, we did mention that in the semifinals, we might see a Brian Baguna. So, stay tuned for that. Let's see how the rest of the Open Conference can continue to develop. In behalf of our courtside reporter, Ayana Perlas, and my partner, the one and the only Neil Flores, my name is Mix Gomez. Thank you so much for joining us. See you soon again here in the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference.